Welcome to Animates. My name is Mackenzie, joined by my lovely co-host Lindsay.
Hello.
Now, Lindsay, this is a special occasion. This is the first episode of our first ever full series watch through.
Hell yeah, we are smacking the champagne bottle on the side of this ship and sending it out.
Hell yeah. Now, what that means for the folks at home is that there will be bonus new episodes of the podcast where we will be watching a full series to completion, movies and all, for the first time since we started this podcast.
Whoa, it's been so long.
It has been a whole frickin' year, Lindsay.
What? You're welcome, everybody.
52 full episodes and now a bonus series. This is something that people have been asking about for a long time, but this wouldn't be in the spirit of Animates if I told her beforehand what we were watching.
You've given me like a hint or two.
Oh, I've sprinkled in plenty of hints here and there throughout general conversation.
I've only caught two of them. And those were
the ones where I said it was like Digimon?
Yes. And then the other one was just now when you said the tail thing.
Is there anything you think it might be? Like along the lines of Digimon?
No, because originally I thought we were going to do Evangelion, but then I guess that you're like, no, that's too long. And then another part of me was like, well, maybe it's Cowboy Bebop, but I don't think Cowboy...
That's a great series.
We should do that one because I would love to watch that series.
Unfortunately, Lindsay...
Were you lying to me?
I did pull the it's like Digimon out my ass.
You son of a bitch.
So I'm sorry if you were thinking of that a little bit too much, but let me tell you what you will be watching. For a long while, I've been trying to think of the perfect anime for us to watch. Something people love that isn't too long and would have a positive impact on the podcast. Because it would suck if we were like, we're watching this. And everyone's like, that's bullshit. I was super nervous about that. Because like, imagine if we watched some, I don't know, American-only anime ripoff from Fox Kids.
We're watching the Death Note American movie.
For 2.5 straight months.
Could you imagine? I would quit.
We're just going to watch it 15 minutes at a time. Really do a deep dive.
Because that's all we can handle.
But no, Lindsay, I think folks at home are in for a treat. And of course, you too.
I'll be the judge of that.
I do worry where your psyche will be at the end of this series. Since I know how well you handle just 3 episodes of ecchi.
Are you fucking kidding me?
How do you think you can handle 26?
I fucking hate you.
You sure you hate me? You don't want to, you're not happy about 26 episodes of pantsu and mild nudity?
I will drive to your house right now and kick your ass.
Well, it's a good thing I'm just fucking with you again, Lindsay.
I figured you were.
We are not watching a full ecchi series. Instead...
It's a full hentai series.
Yeah. No, instead, and this is and I'm being very serious when I say this, we're going to watch a show about daddy issues.
Okay.
And I am not fucking with you, Lindsay, here. So let me set the scene for you, okay?
Oh, no.
Imagine your mother disappearing, and then your father shipping you off. And then finally, one day, when you're a teenager, daddy calls because he needs you. He needs you to get in the damn robot, Lindsay. There's angels to fight and a world to save. That's right, Lindsay. Get in and tighten up your plug suit, because it's time to watch all 26 episodes, alternate endings, and 4 movies that make up Neon Genesis Evangelion.
You son of a bitch!
Threw you off that trail.
I said it's an Evangelion!
And you fell off that trail so fast?
Well, yeah, because I just believe everything. I don't do insight checks for anything. Oh, you jerk. I was like, is it Serial Experiment Lane or whatever? Like...
That is a fucked up series.
I know.
But I don't know if that has daddy issues in it.
I know.
With Evangelion, you've basically got a plot that is a mix of high school drama, mecha versus angel battles, very deep existential crisis, all while trying to save the world from total annihilation.
Oh, just a casual teenager thing.
And also plenty of what the absolute fuck moments. For the viewer.
Yes! My absolute favorite.
This is seriously one of the most popular anime on the planet.
I'm so excited to see this.
And for good reason. It's great. It's fucked up. And you are literally, I guarantee there'll be messages I get from you just being in all caps like I often get, but there will be probably like, I don't think you understand when I say existential crisis. This is the show that is the poster boy for depressed kid living in depressed world, forced to be depressed at all times. But it's also really funny.
Yay!
And it's got great characters like Asuka and Rei.
Great!
So you're happy about this then?
I am looking forward to this. I'm excited to finally be a part of this culture and understand why it's so great and why people love it so much.
Why it literally has like 1.1 million reviews on Mal.
Wow.
Ranking it, because this is not a normal review. I can just tell you the rating of it right now.
Yeah.
It is an 8.35.
Holy moly. Yeah.
It is beloved. On the recommended versus not recommended, 530, 105 mixed, 108 not recommended.
Wow.
Now, a lot of those not recommendeds, there's some reasons they got that I can understand, but it is a big deal. So I'm gonna give you the actual synopsis here.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna have you go into this raw and blind. I've wanted to do Evangelion on this podcast for a whole year, but it is an impossible series to show in 3 to 5 episodes.
Yeah.
It needs to be told in its entirety. And now we get to do that.
Oh man. I am looking forward to this.
So I hope the folks at home are as stoked as I am to get Lindsay into the Evangelion series. I think she's going to have a time.
Oh no.
And I mean that both in a good and a bad way, Lindsay.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Lindsay's ready. I'm ready. I'm sure y'all are ready. So let's go watch the first 3 episodes of Neon Genesis Evangelion. This miniseries is brought to you by the Animates Patreon. If you want to get access to ad-free episodes, videos, and more, check out patreon.com/Animates. And we are back from watching the first 3 episodes of Hideki Anno's masterpiece, Neon Genesis Evangelion, or Evangelion, however you want to say it.
We're going to pronounce it however we want.
Zach, now, Lindsay, this is your first time watching, so I want to get your first impressions right off the bat. There's no puns right now. Give it to me straight.
Okay, if we're going to be brutally honest, I was like, all right, I'll watch this nerd shit. I did not have high hopes for enjoying this as much as I did.
Oh, okay, good.
I thought it would just be like, all right, it's an anime. People like it. Great. I've watched it. I know what the culture thing is. And now I can move on with my life. And I watched it and I was like, holy shit, I am invested. So
yeah, it gets you quick.
Yeah. I am so interested to see what happens to these characters, because they're literal children being put into these very dangerous, very like mentally damaging situations.
Yeah.
Like,
you haven't even met all the children yet.
And the thing is, like, the design is really cool. Like, there's like speckle effects in combat. There's a lot of use of rainbow, and it's so cool.
For 1995, the animation quality is insane.
It's beautiful.
There is a reason that this series was such a powerhouse and a cash cow.
Like, oh, absolutely. I fully understand. From 3 episodes.
Yeah, to date, I believe the revenue brought in is about, and this is from all parts of the franchise, is like $17 billion.
Holy crap.
This rivals shows like Game of Thrones, The Simpsons, etc., which is wild because this has 26 episodes and a handful of movies, and that's it.
I was going to say, Simpsons has been on for like 30, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
You don't see a lot of people buying Bartman t-shirts anymore, but you go to a lot of places and you see tons of Neon Genesis stuff.
Man.
And they snag you real quick. Like, literally, the theme song comes on. Da, 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 da. And you're like, yeah. Did you like the theme song? Now, before you answer this, I'm going to let you know, you may be about to piss off thousands of people.
Okay, so it's not going to be going on my Spotify Wrapped this year, but I do like it.
Okay.
I think there's a lot. I'm interested to see how all the imagery relates to the show as we go through watching this series, because there was a couple things that I was able to pick out, and I texted you like, oh, that's the the tree of life, and there's like I can start seeing little pieces and things like that, but I'm interested to see how a lot of this religious imagery and things like that play out in this series.
I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but in a few episodes I will probably have some facts for you to hit you with.
Perfect. Yeah, I know. I was literally like, I want to know about it, but I also don't want you to spoil anything for me.
I will not.
Again,
I will not spoil
that's
anything.
How you know I'm like into this, invested.
There's a couple moments in my notes where I'm like, please do not Google these words. To let you know specifically, but like, you can tell it's a labor of love because people put their heart and soul into it. I'd mentioned the voice actors reporting mental health issues, recording it. We haven't quite hit that part yet because we're just in the beginning,
We're just at
But
the
we
start
will.
of the mental health breakdowns.
Yes, but here's a little pop quiz for you, Lindsay.
Okay, hit me with it.
Which comedian and actor said Neon Genesis was their favorite anime ever?
You said comedian and what?
Actor.
Okay, are you saying that in like... So it
Not
could
gender
be
specific.
Okay.
Does it
Damn
make it easier if I do?
Sure, let's... Yeah.
It's a dude.
Okay, it's a dude. Okay, can I ask for clues? No, don't do this to me. Is it a dropout person? Are they British
Famous.
or American?
Famous.
Famous, like really famous?
Like one of the most.
Robin Williams?
You're right.
Oh, seriously? I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense. I guess that absolutely makes sense because he was also a big fan of the Zelda series because that's what his daughter's name is.
Yeah, for the video games. Yeah, he's a huge gamer and a big anime nerd.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this was he specifically stated Neon Genesis was his favorite series.
Wow.
Actually, even director Wes Anderson also stated that Evangelion is the kind of series so intense that it could spawn something like Scientology to happen again.
Oh man, let's hope not.
Yeah. I loved the messages I was getting from you. I was like, because we were watching basically at the same time. I was like, hey, you at this part yet? And you're like, no, I'm still making notes about daddy issues.
Yeah, this whole entire show is just daddy issues.
I warned you.
It's all how to not be a parent.
I warned you that its main genre was basically daddy issues.
Oh my gosh. It made me think of, I think it's the show Lovely Bones, where they just like have a child to be spare parts for their other child. Like it feels like this parent had a child to serve a purpose other than to make them a parent. Like, I need a pliable brain to operate this Eva for me. I'm going to have a child. Like, it doesn't feel like he had the child, like Shinji, out of love and some sort of like paternal instinct. It felt like it came from a scientific, like, point of view.
Interesting. I like that. I'm making notes as you talk.
You're like my therapist.
I like that you say that. That's good. I dig that.
Oh, that worries me. I'm like, why? What is it? Like, I'm because it's only the first 3 episodes. I am so, because I don't know what's gonna happen, and I guess that just shows how interested I am in this series.
There's a lot that is coming your way.
Oh man.
And like episode 1, Angel Attack, they do not start off slow.
No, they're like, here's an angel.
Like straight into it, dope looking angel, and they're just firing all their military bullets at it that they can, doing nothing.
Yeah, literally my first note is there's already such a state of unease right off the bat. Like, they make you uncomfortable.
Now imagine being a teen arriving in the big city for the first time and it's currently under siege by a monster.
Yeah, no problem.
Because
like a giant landmine goes off, whatever.
Yeah, the first angel attack was before he was born, and there hasn't been one until now.
Do they explain why?
Maybe.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, is this something to look forward? I'm assuming we're gonna get this exposition later on.
Yes, there's lots of information that'll be coming towards you. But of course, we meet the sweet, sweet Hare Misato, who picks up Shinji just in time.
Yeah. They're like, okay, we're just gonna hide in this car now, duck.
But like, he holds a picture as he's waiting for her, and it's like a postcard with her on it. Here's some fun facts about that. The lipstick marks on it aren't drawn. They're actual lipstick marks from female employees at Gainax.
Interesting.
So like someone kissed the cell, basically.
Cool.
Which is a pretty neat little fact.
I was like, that cell is gonna go up in price.
And then there's like a standard message, like, I'll be picking you up, wait for me, okay. But then, and this is a little weird when sending a postcard to a 14-year-old, it includes the words in Japanese, check this out, with an arrow pointing to her cleavage. Because she's like bent over doing a kissy face in the...
I don't know why that doesn't surprise me with Misato. Because she is pretty cheeky. And she's kind of there to be this force that keeps him uplifted and happy and like is a breath of fresh air, I guess. So I don't know. For me, that doesn't surprise me as much.
No, there's an entire Wikipedia dedicated to like an entire like section dedicated like, is she trying to get with him or is she just being this, with like all these examples? It's wild.
I feel like it's because she is assigned to keep his morale up.
Well, she even says it later when she's like, maybe I'm laying this on too thick. She says that when they're at her house, and like, that's a good point. Like, that might be just the case, because she even says she feels like she's Ritsuko, the scientist, because she's like trying to keep this kid's psyche going.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, you mentioned the mine. It's literally, they call it an N2 mine. And your message was just like, what was this called? And I was like, it's an N2. It's basically a nuke.
Yeah. I was like, that's a mushroom cloud.
Yeah. And they're like, gotta get the kid there safely, but we're going to drop a bomb beside him.
It's fine. He'll make it. He'll just, hide behind this 1980s sedan. It's fine.
Which she has 33 months of payments left on.
I know. I was like, how?
why doesn't she have a company car?
Yeah, right? This like, it's because they're spending it all on these giant Evas.
True.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, that's...
That was the other thing I sent you was like, look at all this taxpayer money getting wasted.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what that one guy says too. I can't remember his name, but like Gendo's right-hand man was like, oh, what a waste of taxpayer money.
Yeah, 100%. And I was like, that's how I know I'm an adult now.
And again, we kind of get that impression into Misato because she's like, steals a bunch of car batteries to get her car going. And Shinji's like, you're a little childish, aren't you? And she's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Which, like, if you're saying that to a 14-year-old and you're an adult, you've lost.
You're not wrong.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, and it's funny because they're like, Unit 1 needs to be deployed even though there's no pilot. And the dad, like, doesn't care because he's like, I have a son. He'll have a pilot.
He knows what's going on. Yeah, that whole meeting, they're like, none of our shit's working. I guess it's up to you to do your wizard shit. And it's like, why would you keep trying?
Yeah.
Like, because like later on, they try to shoot it again. And it's like, stop shooting normal bullets at the angel.
Yeah, it's like, they literally are like, it's regenerating and it's getting smarter.
Yeah, stop.
Figure it out.
But like, they get to the Nerve headquarters. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious your thoughts on this because we get to see this geofront city.
Yeah, I literally said, whoa, upside down world.
Which is kind of true.
Yeah.
Because they're underground with like rivers and lakes with like the fake sky and all these buildings that shift in and out of the ground.
That was really cool. I loved that. I thought that was such a cool factor that the city could do.
Yeah, because in episode 2, Misato's like, hey, we're going to stand here. And Shinji's looking at the city. He's like, this city kind of sucks, basically.
Yeah, then it's like,
what a waste of, yeah. And then just like,
elevator up. And then, yeah, in episode 3, you see it's like going into lockdown.
And everything's sinking down.
So cool.
Freaking sweet.
I
And then, of course,
love it.
Misato, getting lost, even though she's worked there for forever, has to call Ritsuko, which is our swimsuit-clad nerve head scientist.
I mean, we got to have a hot blonde in a swimsuit and a lab coat. Otherwise, is it really an anime?
I love her.
I figured you would.
She doesn't even ask Misato to move, okay?
Nope.
She just walks into the elevator and just stares at her with that sexy little look. And even Misato's like, oh my God.
Man, it's great. I love it. I love it so much.
And then we get our first look at the Eva.
This was the coolest thing. Oh my gosh. I love this intro. Just like everything's black. You hear Shinji be like, I can't see a thing. And then the lights flick on and it's literally just like a purple mech face. It's so cool. Because it's not even, it's like, isn't it half in the water still too? Or the liquid, the pilk, whatever it is?
Oh yeah, you called it purple milk, the pilk, yes.
Oh man, it's crazy. I loved it.
Such a good reveal. Because so many shows would have done like some crazy epic, like pan up the monster, do all this crazy stuff. It's like, no. We're going to go in blind and then just instantly in your face. Because this isn't about the viewer. This is about Shinji seeing this monster and it's his point of view. We don't need any of this exposition of like, ooh, look at the blood. It's like, no. That's not what this scene is about.
We're just going to hit you with it. Because that's what's happening with Shinji. The audience is going to get hit with it just the same way Shinji is.
Just like his father, who's just standing up in some glass room.
Jeez.
Hasn't even done his orientation. And daddy's just like, hello, son. Please go fight this giant monster without any training. And if you leave, never talk to me again.
Well, yeah, I think that was the part where I was like, we're going to have this really multi-million-dollar mech. We're going to put this kid who's just learning about this 5 minutes ago and tell him to go fight this angel. Like, I was like, this is a waste of taxpayers' money because it's going to get damaged.
And Gendo is the worst father in history.
He's terrible. He's so bad. I'm like, he just drops it on his kid and then he's like, all right, go do it. Bye. Like, oh my gosh. Like, also just the fact that like there's all these like angels out there and apparently like humanity's last hope is these teenagers who are just learning about the existence of Evangelions and like what? And it's like, why is it only teenagers? Like, this doesn't make, it's like in Alien Romulus, how it's like only hot young adults running this like high-tech spaceship. Like, what is, none of this doesn't make sense.
You'll find out.
Is it because your brain doesn't fully develop until you're 25?
I'm not going to spoil anything for you.
I'm going to say it on record right now.
I'm making notes of all the things you're saying like this.
Great.
So if things ever become true or if they don't, I'm going to reference it later.
Yeah.
At least like Misato's trying to be supportive. She's like, hey, please, like we kind of need you. And Gendo's like, do it or leave.
Yeah, he literally says, pilot it or get out. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, yeah, he's not getting a Father of the Year mug.
No, he's just like, I'll abandon you if you're not going to do this. And then wheels in Ray.
Yeah, who's just like so mangled.
On a stretcher, can barely move, can barely talk.
Man.
Poor, sweet, quiet Ray. She's a quiet girl. I love Ray. She was actually, so her full name is Rei Ayanami.
Okay.
She was named after the Japanese destroyer Ayanami and the character Rei Hino, which was Sailor Mars.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So Hideki Anno, has a bit of love for Japanese warships and Sailor Moon.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, and he actually tried to he tried to coerce someone to join the project once by trying to bring in Sailor Moon voice actresses.
Ooh.
But the person didn't go with the project. I'm sure they regret it now.
Yeah.
But
how
at the
big
time,
this thing is.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But like, Ray's gonna go get into it, and then a big earthquake happens, and the robot moves on its own.
I know, which is impossible because there's no connection or entry port or whatever.
The entry plug.
Sorry. Well, yeah, and then can we talk about like him going into for the first time and like the goo is filling the cockpit and he's like, it tastes weird. And they're like, deal with it. You're a big boy. And I was like, again, he's 14. He's just learning about this. Like for all he knows, as soon as you're submerged in liquid, you can't fucking breathe. So maybe like, I don't know, give him an effing break.
So that fluid is called LCL fluid.
Okay.
It is said to taste kind of like a blood, but more like a...
It's like metallic-y?
Yeah. But what it does is it actually transforms when activated to have the same density, opacity, and viscosity of air. But it's still a liquid, so it can breathe and move through your body normally. And your hair will move in it the same, but that's why at the same time, sometimes you'll open his mouth and bubbles will come out.
Interesting.
So that's the LCL fluid. But yeah, it's like crazy robot protects him, and then he feels bad, so he's like, fuck, I guess I've got to get in the robot, because how big of an asshole are you going to be to get the girl who's on her deathbed to pilot the robot?
Right, being like, I don't think I want to.
Come on, Shinji.
But also part of me's like, I don't know, one casualty is better than two? I don't know.
True. I love that, like, as the roof is collapsing and, like, things are flying around, Gendo's just still staring, glaring evilly at his child, not even flinching when, like, the bits almost land and crush his kid.
Do it for father's love, Shinji.
Gendo is not using Rei to actually, he doesn't want her in the robot. He does it specifically because he knows it's going to make Shinji feel bad and get inside the robot.
What a manipulative prick.
Dick move.
Now, and then, yeah, we finished the episode with the line, Shinji, don't die.
So, literally, I love, okay, you mentioned the fluid, but once they're in the Eva and they're doing the brain connection, we get all that crazy rainbow. And
no, they'll get blue, blue, blue. Yeah.
I love that. It's like the brains sync.
So cool.
It's incredible looking. I love that visual so damn much.
Oh my gosh. It's fantastic. And like just their use of color in that to kind of communicate like the psychic connection, the psychic damage, and just the different things that are like it's so jarring, and it is kind of an overstimulation that it like kind of like tweaks you a little bit as a viewer. I just thought it was a really cool and effective choice.
And then you get like the ejection scene where it like shoots up through the ground and doing all cool stuff and just pops up in the city. That's pretty dang sweet. I love that. And what I love here's the thing I love most about the Evangelion units. They use so much power they have to be plugged in at all times.
They have an umbilical cord.
And their battery is only like 5 minutes long or 6 minutes long, whatever, when it unplugs. That is not what most shows do. Most shows are like, here's our mech. They're the most powerful things in the world, and they never fail, and they're going to do super good, and they're always amazing. And this one's like, if my cord gets cut, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of getting fucked, episode 2...
Oh my gosh.
The
yeah,
beast.
they just start with him and like putting him right in front of an angel. And then there's just like a bunch of severe damage to this fucking kid.
And here's another thing that I really love about Evangelion. The pilots feel the pain.
That's terrifying.
He feels like his arm is being ripped off when this angel is like twisting and like basically ripping it off.
Yeah.
It's been 2 hours since he has arrived in Tokyo 3.
This kid is experiencing excruciating pain.
Like, this is the scariest thing he's ever seen since his father in front of him as this angel.
Yeah.
Then he gets the headache of the century when the angel just blasts through the Eva's skull.
Yeah. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. It was just so, I was like, I feel like the phrase I'm just going to say the most throughout this entire series is just this poor kid.
Because you think, oh, at the start of the next episode, he's going to fight this Eva. No, we start with him getting the shit kicked out of him. And then this is where the genius of Hideki Anno comes in, because we don't see that battle. We cut straight to Shinji in the hospital, staring at a roof with the coldest line where he just goes, I don't recognize the ceiling.
Yeah.
Which is so dark.
Oh my gosh. It just is heartbreaking.
Most shows would just show the battle and go from there, but they don't. This show it's actually directed. It's directed like a movie.
It's so good. And then, yeah, so we go from this hospital room to this like board meeting, and they're just like talking about it. Okay, so the general public isn't aware of angels. Is that what they're talking about?
Some people know, some don't.
Okay.
I think that's my understanding of it. I could be wrong, but they try their best to keep at least the tech like hidden, because no one knows what Eva Unit 1. That was the first time anyone, if they had seen it. But here's the crazy part about Tokyo 3.
Okay.
So aside from the fact that it's based off of like a real city, real life town, Hakone in the Kanagawa prefecture in Japan, I'm pretty sure, and I might be wrong, and I might learn more as I watch this and pick up on some stuff here. I think they only have people living in that city to attract the angels.
That would make sense, because if you are attached with an umbilical, like, the angels have to come to you.
Yes, and there's a reason they're coming to this city all the time. There is a reason. I won't spoil anything for you.
Okay.
But the city, I'm sure, has people to, like, give more of a reason for it to be coming.
Yeah.
Death and destruction and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Which, like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Hi, please come live in our city. It's always going to be a problem.
It's like that's the only way millennials can afford real estate is in Tokyo 3.
Now, I guess like technically could be wrong because this is the first angel attack in 15 years, but still.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But still, you got to think that they've been planning this because
something feels suspicious.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't just pour a bunch of government funding into this.
I was literally going to say the whole meeting
research
that they're at is they're like, your shit's expensive, but I guess you're going to get your money anyways.
Freaking Oswald Cobblepot just in this board meeting.
Now, did you pick up on the line about Gendo and his top priority?
I don't think so, because I didn't make a note of it.
The Evas are not his top priority. His top priority is the Human Instrumentality Project.
Yep.
Do not Google that.
Okay, good, because I already forgotten what you said. Human Instrumentality Project?
Mm-hmm. That's his main thing he's supposed to focus on.
Okay, I will
but
not.
But don't go Googling.
I won't go Googling. Okay, good to know. Well, should we move on to roomies?
Before we get to roomies, I want to say one thing.
Okay.
Again, it's a little depressing. Shinji is in this hospital, and he doesn't have good memories from what had happened, but he's just staring at his arm because the one thing he remembers is thinking it got ripped off.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees his dad in the elevator, and his dad just stares at him and presses the closed door button.
Oh, man.
Oh my God, Gendo.
Father of the year.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Sorry, that makes me think, oh my God, my berries. Me, TikTok from back in the day. Oh. Vine days. Anyways.
Ooh, Vine.
Roommates.
Okay. Roommates. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If someone was like, here's a room all to yourself, enjoy, and then someone was like, no, you gotta live with me, I would be pissed.
Yes. But someone like Shinji needs to have people around, or else he's just gonna be like, he's a risk slitter, if anything.
Yeah, 100%. Especially in this whole entire new world that he's just discovered. I totally get it.
He needs someone near him.
He needs someone watching him.
Plus, it's Misato.
Aww, and you know, she's her messy apartment with beer cans and trash everywhere.
It's a fucking dirty ass mess.
Yeah.
There's literal 100%. Trash bags everywhere.
But I mean, I guess, you know, it's because there's another occupant in the fridge.
We'll get to that, okay?
Okay.
But I first have to say, Canadian corner stores and Japanese konbini, which is a Japanese corner store, the difference is wild.
Oh, absolutely.
We get hot dogs and nachos, and theirs are like, here's a bunch of feasts.
Yeah.
And microwaved or not, it still looks damn good.
Oh, absolutely. That was like one of my, when I was in Japan, I was like, what do you mean you have like fresh food that isn't going to give me food poisoning at your 7-Elevens?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was blown away. And I was like, we need these in North America. Yeah. We won't get them, but we need them.
Because it's just like a table full of takeout and beer. But like the difference is I was like, that's just
it's
crazy.
Astounding. The lettuce is actually green.
Yeah. And of course, we have to throw in some fan service for the fans of Misato here.
I mean, obviously.
Jean short, ass shot, jiggling boobs, her just having the best time sharing a meal and drinking beer. You know, her definition of a perfect night.
Yeah, great night.
She's a simple girl, and I love her. She's a bit of a weirdo with the Shinji stuff,
A little bit.
But like you said, it seems like she's just doing it to like, she's
Keep
like
morale
supposed
up.
to keep morale up. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, they do rock, paper, scissors decide the chores and he keeps losing.
Yeah, I was like, this guy is kind of dumb.
He just keeps losing.
Throwing his rock.
But you mentioned the other box.
Yes. So turns out there's another roommate. Which
Hell yeah.
I feel like okay, so it's Pen the Penguin.
Pen.
Pen. This doesn't make sense. This
Why not?
feels I don't know. This feels like a thing that again, people put in the show so that you wouldn't be so depressed. That's how I feel about Pen.
So he's a warm water penguin.
Okay.
He does that. It's not a freezer that he has. He has his own like hot spring container.
Oh.
She actually took him with her when she left her previous job.
Which was?
Basically rumored because of like early design documents that he's a genetic experiment.
Oh.
So her previous government job, they probably wanted to like, I don't know, just like get rid of him as like a failed experiment or something. And she was like, no, I'm taking him. And so she took him because he's got a nameplate with a serial number. And because his name Pen doesn't fit, it says Pen squared.
Oh, I love that. I didn't notice that. I'm going to look for that.
Cute. Yeah.
That is really
adorable.
Cute. I love it.
I love Pen so much.
Well, after our night of drinking and deciding chores, is it later when Shinji is in bed that he kind of has the flashback to the fight and we get the final, like, we get the insight into what happened in that battle at the beginning of the episode?
She tells him to go have a bath.
Oh, yes.
Which this is when he meets Pen and runs out naked.
Yeah.
Which we get some top tier Austin Powers level content because there's like a beer can covering his junk and she picks it up and you're like, oh no, but then there's a tinier beer can behind it.
It was pretty funny.
But he has a bath because she says the bath cleanses the soul, and he's in the bath and he's like, well, the bath only makes me think of bad stuff.
Oh.
But it's in bed later.
Oh, okay, that we get the insight into what happened in the battle because he did end up killing the angel.
Oh my god, yeah. What a flashback.
Obliterating it. Holy moly.
Basically, when the angel like busts the head of this fucking thing open, everything disconnects.
Yeah.
The angel is not able to work anymore. It's dead in the water. The Eva, sorry.
Yeah.
But then Shinji or the robot or someone has a psychic break and goes berserk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, an AT field, Lindsay, is a big deal.
What is an AT?
It was like the little force field that the angel put up.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So the Evangelion then produces its own and matches it to the same frequency and begins degrading this AT field. That's not something that these scientists thought was possible to do.
That's insane.
It is out of nowhere, and we get this crazy battle with like all this like cross iconography.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say, the angel self-destructs into a cross.
Yeah, because like the Eva goes crazy, rips off all these parts of it and starts like stabbing into it and destroying its core.
It's so cool.
Boom.
Part of me is wondering, like, with all this religious iconography, is it comparing, like, I'm just thinking of, like, creationism and evolution? Is it making a statement kind of about that and, like, science? I don't know. This is, again, me just saying stuff on the record to see if any of it relates.
Fair. And what's crazy is that Gendo's just watching the smile.
Mm-hmm.
He sees his son in Eva going crazy, having a blow explosion, which the Eva, like, clearly walks through with no trouble.
Yep.
And did this end part freak you out?
The eye part?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, why is it squishy? Why is it Oregon, not Mecha? Like, what is happening?
Why is there an eye regenerating and staring at Shinji?
I know.
With a weird fleshy skull underneath the helmet.
Are they becoming one? I don't know. And I want to know.
I'm so excited for you.
Is he like, I'm trying to think of a reference, but I can't think of any right off the bat, but I feel like there is something where it's like a machine fuses with the brain. I don't know.
You'll just have to watch and find out.
I would say I'm excited to keep watching.
And because this is only 26 episodes, you're not going to have to wait too long.
I know. It's going to be great.
So.
All right. Well, we're on to episode 3 then.
A transfer.
Yes. Which we, going to start with a science lesson about ice caps melting or something. And I didn't pay attention in science class.
I loved your... hold on. You didn't pay attention to this part?
I kind of did, but I don't remember. There was something about like I just remember ice caps melting, and that's why certain parts of Japan are flooded.
Oh, no. Okay. I'm gonna shock your mind here.
Okay, you shock it.
So First off, I love that we begin with a training scene where Shinji's just dead. He's just like, I'll just do as I'm told. And he's just dead-faced shooting guns.
Yeah.
And then I get a message from you being like, they have to go to school too?
Yep.
And I was like, hey, I told you, it's got slice of life in there.
I don't understand. I was
That
like,
being
these
said,
kids need to not go to school.
What a dumb thing to make them go to school.
100%. Absolutely. Especially
But-
because he just gets beat up.
The scene is talking about the one that you're talking about, the science lesson.
Mhm.
It's talking about the meteor that hit the Earth
That's what it was.
in the ice caps, melting almost all of them instantly. The world flooded in a blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm.
The world then shifted axis and tilted. So some parts of the world only ever see summer and some only ever see winter.
Oh, right. Okay.
This killed half of mankind. And then he starts talking about how the first angel arrived and caused all this fucked up additional shit to happen. That's the lesson.
Holy shit. Okay.
It is, remember, this show doesn't do filler.
The show wasn't happy.
Everything that's being said, you got to pay attention to.
Oh,
'Cause
no.
this was world knowledge. Like, hey, this is what's wrong with the world. This is why
a lore drop.
we get all these like scenes. And it reminds me of my favorite manga, which is Yokohama Kadashi Kiku, or Yokohama Shopping Trip, except their world is flooded, but it's peaceful. The world is slowly ending and it's peaceful and the robots are friendly. But yeah, the world is
Not
fucked.
that case. Yeah.
Like, imagine all of the ice caps melting like almost instantaneously.
Yeah, I'm okay. I want to go to sleep tonight.
Sorry.
I mean, I say that I just got Baldur's Gate 3, so I don't know how much sleep I'm getting tonight, but
Yeah, you're trying hard to get Astarion to romance you.
I just want a vampire to fall in love with me, please. I
and
keep
every
being too
goth
nice
girl
and he
out there.
doesn't like it.
Gotta be a bitch.
I know. I need to stop saving children.
You can save them. You've just gotta give them shit
Kick
for
them.
it.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh man. Shinji's an idiot though.
He's 14.
Yeah, but like some girl's like, are you the pilot of that robot?
Oh, yeah. And he's like, yes. And then instantly swarm.
And he starts like talking about like secret technology, like the special sound wave knife and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I get
Yeah.
it. You like to please people, but come the fuck on now.
You need to sign an NDA.
God. And the next scene pisses me off so bad.
What, him getting the shit kicked out of him?
Yeah.
Oh, you were a pilot, but my dumb sister got trapped under freaking rock, so I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Like, he saved your life.
She would have probably died
Yeah.
if he wasn't. Some rubble and a broken leg. Great. If he didn't pilot the robot and the angel just kept rampaging, you would have had way more trouble.
You would have been going to a funeral home instead of a hospital to see your sister.
Yeah. Fucking, I know they become friends and whatnot, but like, fuck that guy.
Yep. Oh, man. But yeah, after this happens, we get a new angel arrives, and so we got to go into lockdown.
This one looks like a flying penis with tentacle
Yeah.
arms.
It's hentai.
No, it's what it looks like.
I know.
It is too penis shaped.
Oh, man. So we gotta go into lockdown, slap down some stuff, get in the Eva, go out. I love the gun. Just like is from a building that shoots up, and then he just like opens it and he's like, aha, gun.
Well, it's a building sized gun.
I mean, it's great. It's perfect. Oh man. But yeah, these stupid boys don't want to be in lockdown because why? So they go up top, and I was like, this is called natural selection. I do not feel bad if these boys die because they're up there with their little camcorder trying to like do it for the gram. They're stupid. And what? Plot twist, they get in severe amounts of danger and need to be saved? Who would have thought? Ugh. I just don't like them.
Now, I mentioned building sized gun.
Yes.
The one annoying thing about the series is that in the movies they fix this, but in the shows, depending on kind of where they are, the Evas heights are slightly different.
Okay.
Sometimes they look 40 meters, sometimes they look 80, but
That's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, it's a bit off in the show depending on where you're looking, but the actual height of these things is supposed to be 80 meters tall.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Well, and like the scary thing happens during the fight and the umbilical cord gets severed.
Battery
Which I
power,
was like,
baby.
oh, cool. Second time out, the umbilical cord severs and you see these two losers that you need to save. Like, oh my gosh. And so like because the whole procedure for putting the entry pod or whatever plug into the Eva, like it felt so secure, and then they're just like, just open it up and get these two boys in there. Like it didn't, I don't know, that part felt weird to me.
So the plug goes into the back by the spine at the top, and it's no different than like a shotgun round. You can pop the plug out, eject the shotgun round. So it's like, a bunch of like little twisty entry points have to open and then it just comes out. And that's also for pilot safety because they can eject the plug like a rocket as well.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So if it's like, oh, the plug's failed and everyone's choking on this liquid, which is no longer turning to air, you can eject the plug.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, these kids are fucking dumb and he has to like land and like protect them.
All with 5 minutes of power left.
Yeah, and then why isn't he fighting the angel? And the one smart kid was like, it's probably because of us.
Yeah.
He's trying to protect us.
Yeah. And then Shinji just has like a mentee bee and just obliterates this fucking angel.
Yeah, well, he's holding on to these shocking whips that are literally cutting buildings in half.
Yeah.
And they like burn away the metal on the gloves, showing these human-like hands underneath the Evangelion.
Yeah.
Again, adding a little bit of weirdness to the why is there a bit of flesh here thing. And then, yeah, mentee bee.
And all these, and the classmates are like, oh, this is kind of fucked up. And I'm like, really? You think? Do you feel bad for beating him up earlier now?
Literally saved your ass multiple times now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just like stabs into this fucking angel core.
Oh my gosh.
And with the last 1 second left, kills this fucking angel.
Man, talk about like just tension. Just, oh my gosh.
This moment's intense because not only does he got the kids inside the plug, but the phases are shifting. He keeps saying to himself, do not run away. Do not run away. But he's being told at the same time to run away.
Mm-hmm.
So like, leave, we'll come back later. We got to get out of here. But he knows that daddy doesn't want him to run.
I hate it so much.
So he's going to have to go and fight. And his brain snaps because everyone's telling him to run when normally they tell him not to run. And he's like, well, I guess we're just going to not run.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we end with that kid whose life he saved being like, you should apologize to Shinji. And the kid can't do it.
Oh yeah, he's like on the phone.
He hangs up and he's like, no, I can't.
Fucking idiot.
Like, I don't know.
I'm so interested to see how the rest of this story, this series is.
It's a lot.
I don't doubt that. Like, I feel like it's going to be very taxing to watch. And I feel like I'm going to have a couple of like Chris Crocker moments and just be like, leave Shinji alone. But like, I feel like it's going to be a really good series. And I'm interested to see how everything goes. And
there's more characters going to be introduced to soon. We've already mentioned Asuka's coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple other people. It's a lot. There's some episodes where you're like, oh, look, good slice of life moments, people having fun. Misato's eating bread or whatever.
Because we need to have those, like, we need those palate cleansers.
But
great. I look forward to seeing where we go with this plot.
I was literally going to ask you if you were excited to, find out more about the Evas and the Instrumentality Project and the Angels and all this stuff. But you clearly are.
Yep.
I was a little worried doing it that you wouldn't be like, watch the first 3 and be like, I don't want to do the rest of this.
Yeah,
I would find something new for the long-term series.
No, I'm good to stick with this.
Hell yeah. I'm so stoked about that. So any other notes you want to bring up or anything before we head out?
No, I think I was pretty good at making notes in the corners of my pages while I was writing them. So I think I pretty much said all the things I needed to say.
All right, perfect. Well, we will see all you folks in 2 more weeks as we watch episodes 4, 5, and 6, so make sure to come back and check that out. If you want us to continue producing series like this and our regular retro anime podcast, please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/animates. Your support is greatly appreciated, and it helps us create more and better retro anime programming.
Yes, we really appreciate it.
Hell yeah. If you want to follow us on YouTube, where we post video essays and hilarious short videos like me making Lindsay rank Dragon Ball Z villains blindly, hot to not style,
You're the worst.
or guess the names of Pokemon, check that out at youtube.com/@animates.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had a good time with us today, make sure you rate the podcast and leave a review. It really helps us out. We will catch you in 2 weeks for 3 more episodes of Animates Neon Genesis Evangelion watch through.
It's going to be
Lindsay's
a party.
mind will slowly break more.
I'm already going to a therapist. Yeah, we're not going to talk about my car accident anymore. We're only going to talk about this show.
Well, bye.
All right, later, everybody.
See you next time.
Ciao, ciao.